Yo, Zytherian, Hamburger, this be hype. I agree completely. Trying to see the next games. Yeah, there's definitely going to be some kind of references. What the heck? Shut up, me. Shut up. All right. I am extremely excited for this one. I said in my previous stream when we were playing Joy of Creation that we would watch the interview together, which starts in about 20 minutes. So give or take, we'll definitely have things to talk about before that happens. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, and we're going to go over it, talk about it a little bit. There will be some pausing in between so that we can talk about a couple things. But for the most part, we'll be mostly watching it. It's going to be pretty good. First time in a stream. Well, welcome, Mesh. Welcome to the stream. Early G. Right? Right? We actually are quite early, aren't we? I just don't want my microphone too close because apparently it likes to peak a lot. And so we're just going to keep it, further away, I think. Is anybody live? Or is Astrospiff live? Oh, Astrospiff isn't even live. We're doing something Astrospiff never did. Look at that. Anybody streaming about this live or what? I guess not. It's not. Have to get food? Fair enough, fair enough. My breakfast was a drumstick. And no, I'm not talking about chicken. I want to see a game based off of the first bit of lore with Spring Bonnie and Fredbear. There needs to be an official one. I mean, there's so many fan games and like there's some of them are really good, some of them are really bad, but that should definitely be something that Scott Cawthon possibly makes. Yo, Pancake, welcome back. Dunkin' Donuts. I've actually never tried Dunkin' Donuts. Is it any good? I'm Canadian, so I can't have a Dunkin' Donuts. We're actually getting Chick-fil-A's in Canada. It's pretty cool. There's one at our mall that's going to be built anyways. Pretty spectacular. You can look at this. So many people are excited. So many people are excited for this. Yo, Duck. Welcome. You here to watch the interview with Scott Cawthon? The coffee is actually so bad, but the breakfast donuts are good. I've heard good things, okay? I've heard good things about the donuts, but I also heard bad things about the coffee. I mean, good coffee, you gotta have good donuts with it. You got, vice versa. Yo, Skelly, how's it going? Just preparing for the Scott interview here. So many people, man. How many people are waiting? Over 3,000, near close to 4. Insane, dude. I should just pretend that this is my chat right here. Be annoying, okay. That part is there's supposed to be a coffee business. Exactly. And they just can't get the copyright. How's my voice here? Hello, testing. Thanks. Oh, thanks, advertisement. Appreciate you. Managing to get two interviews with Scott, right? Yeah, that's actually insane. Oh, but now my thing doesn't want to load. To get two interviews with Scott. Justin! Because on my OBS it's peaking. That's actually insane. Oh, but now my thing doesn't want to load. To get two interviews with Scott. Justin! Okay, it's not horrible. Not horrible. Yo, Montero, welcome back. Just kind of waiting on this. We have about 17 minutes. What do you guys expect from this interview? Like, what kind of things are you looking for? Super bitter. Ugh. Nothing's worse than bitter coffee, my friends. For me personally, I'm definitely expecting talk about the FNAF 2 movie. Like that for sure they're gonna talk about the first film, but there might be like little hints and tidbits here and there about the second film, which might be interesting. I'm a little excited for that. Future of the franchise, maybe. Yeah, like I mean, like they're not gonna Scott's definitely not gonna point out way too much. Like he'll probably give like little tidbits here and there. He might even talk about the Fortnite collab, possibly, if it is a Fortnite collab, but based off of leakers, that seems very possible. I'll probably lag out or something. Eesh. Yeah, I know it's not my end this time. This time it's not my end. Sometimes it is, and then other times it's not. But not looking for anything. I still don't know who Dako is, other than a FNAF YouTuber. That's what he is, a FNAF YouTuber. He does pretty much exclusively FNAF content. Occasionally he'll do Friday Night Funkin'. Occasionally. Yeah, like, I mean, we kind of understand the future of the franchise in a way. There could be talk about the Help Wanted 2 DLC. It's either a Help Wanted 2 DLC or it's going to be a mainline game, but probably a DLC. I do have a poll up on the YouTube channel here, which, wow, 51 votes already in 2 hours. Beautiful, you guys. And I made a typo. What is Steel Wool going to announce today? Even though that's not today, that's going to be tomorrow. I made that mistake. Never again. Sorry, chat. Yo, just Matt, how's it going? Welcome back. Or it's gonna be a Ruin 2 DLC. Well, a Ruin 2 DLC. What would be the point? Oh. Zypherian? I never even thought of that. When you said Ruin 2 DLC, I was about to say what would be the point of that. It's already a DLC. But what if it continues shortly after the elevator fall? Possibly. Maybe. That'd be cool. I'd be incredibly happy with that. You saw 5 Laps of Freddy's trailer? I did. And I have mixed opinions about it. I mean, for a racing game, because if you actually look, you can actually go on Steam. And one big thing that I noticed that I'm not exactly the most happy with is that there's, you know, split screen and there's remote play, but there's no online multiplayer. At least for the demo. But the thing is with racing games, they should definitely think about online multiplayer, which means this would be the first official FNAF game with Click Team where they have online multiplayer in something. It'd be the first. They might add that full release, probably. I hope so at the very least. I mean, it's just a demo to try the game out, so I can't imagine. It does make sense why there wouldn't be online multiplayer. But dude, I'm gonna abuse the heck out of this game because I love racing games. Like who here? Show of hands, who plays Mario Kart? Who here plays Mario Kart? Probably one of my favorite favorite games of all time, aside from like the Mario and Luigi series. Getting jump scared during the race is kind of good. I actually expected that. I did expect that. No, that's hyped. I don't want 5 Laps of Freddy's. I love racing games, but that just looks like a knockoff Looney Tunes graphics. You know what it actually reminded me of? And like, not to like overly hate on it. It reminded me of this. It reminded me of this. Like, there's a Mario Kart, but with Garfield. Let me show you. Look at
graphics. The graphics are so good that my computer literally can't handle it. See, look, that's the power. It's the power of Garfield, ladies and gentlemen. It's the power of Garfield's raw sexual energy.
Is that John 3:16? What the heck?
Sheer euphoria.
This is what it reminds me of, in a way. Just not as graphical. This one actually has better graphics, in my opinion, than 5 Laps at Freddy's. Okay, yeah, it kind of does. I don't like that. Like, if you look on the image here, I'm not a big fan of that, of how close the person is in front of you. I'm not a fan of that. They need to remove that for sure. Like that, like, there's no point in that. There is no point in that. But the way the course, like, kind of changes, like a night shift racing course, that's cool. I like that. But apparently, like, there's like this in the description here. Apparently, yeah, so should you dare, okay, each item has a power-up mode. Should you dare risk some of that precious battery power, you'll also find glitch power-ups that can increase your battery size and your maximum speed, so long as you don't get hit and lose some of it. So if you get hit, you start losing power, and I think if you lose all your power, you'll get jump scared. And I don't know what that means after that. But there's a couple cool things here. You have car customization, possible, like, where is it? There. Possible skin changes. Possible. Very possible. There are ants everywhere in this room. I have seen at least one ant every like 5 minutes. So I'm just forced to just like tap on them. They climb up the walls and up my leg and everything on my arm. It sucks. Wonder what I should go for it.
My friend, you have met a terrible, terrible demise. But, you know, I don't feel too bad about it. After all, if it weren't from me, it would have just been from someone else, you know? I guess what I'm trying to say
Another
is
ant.
Life.
Bro,
horrible rules.
Ants are everywhere. Alright, chat. This video premieres in 9 minutes now. Who's excited? Everybody spam W in the chat. Let's get it. Oh my goodness, there's a couple ants up there. Oh my gosh, dude. It's insane. What else are you excited for Scott Games? Because I have this pulled up here. Wow, we're already on the 4th of August. That's insane. So yeah, collab announcement is tomorrow. No, the collab announcement is tomorrow, and Steel Wool announcement is in 2 days from now. What? Hold up. So, okay, so I thought it was tomorrow. I'm getting it all mixed up now. So yeah, tomorrow will be the collab announcement, which means that's not going to be in the interview at all. That won't be in the interview. That checks out. The 5 Laps of Freddy's demo, which will probably play. I think I have that day off. Yeah, I do have that day off. And then Into the Pit will definitely do a full stream on Thursday. Pretty hyped. We'll probably start in the morning with Into the Pit, to be honest with you.
My friend, you have met a terrible, terrible demise. I don't think birds know.
That's funny. That is funny. Okay. 7 minutes. Mr. Hippo, dude. We should have a Mr. Hippo sound effect in channel points. It's gonna cost a lot, like $1 million worth of channel points, and then if someone gets it, it'll play the whole darn thing. Good idea? Good idea. I even, like an hour ago, I even put in a comment here. You can kind of see it up here. I need him to say hello, hello, hello at the start, please. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be wonderful. We are at 6,861 current subs. Ladies and gents, you guys are amazing. There was a comment that I saw. Where is it? Oh, right here. So there was a comment where a guy says 95 views in 12 hours, you fell off. And I said I also don't have 100k subs. And the reason I said that was because, like, if you're starting out on YouTube, like, you're not going to get a lot of views. One video is going to do extremely well, and then another video is just not going to do well at all. Like, that's just how YouTube is. Like, sometimes it's a hit or miss. And so, I said I don't have 100k subs, just a long startup. Anybody has anybody read the book? The interactive novel? Is that okay, so an hour ago we got the announcement that the interview is going to happen. This is where the book is, and it's free, right? Buy now with one click. I clicked it. And it I thought I was already signed in, dude. Read sample. Okay, so there's a whole interesting. Okay. Well, definitely, I'll definitely give this a read. Why not? There's a whole bunch of other books, but yeah, well, I'll definitely give that one a read. Why not? 4 minutes. Let's go. Why do you think it's more because of the book? What do you mean there, Montero? Everybody's going wild here. The Into the Pit game might be some equal parts of the book. Well, the thing is with the, like, it might be almost like a choose your own adventure. Like, you get choices in the games itself. In the game itself. That's what I'm thinking. Because the idea of Into the Pit is to try, like, based off of what it says here. To the pits. You can't, you can only add it to wish list right now. It says, yeah, discover different endings right here. It says it right here. Discover different endings. Uncover secrets that span decades. So there's like possible different points in time of Jeff's Pizza. So I'm not 100% sure on everything, but based off of what I'm seeing, it looks interesting. Oh, good news, chat. If you have a GTX 670 or equivalent, you can run this game. Just so you know. Coolest, like really, really cool graphics. Wait, is there like, oh, so like you probably like have little hiding places, and he'll wander around for a bit, leave, and then you just like, you gotta solve mysteries. What is this room? What does this room signify? Would you try to speedrun the game after you're done with it? Oh, probably. I'll probably try to find any way to exploit it as well. No, I'll definitely do that. Hey, look at him. He's just sitting at the chair. Oh, take a seat, young child. August. Oh. Yeah, that's pretty cool. What are the Steam achievements? Do we know about Steam achievements? Oh. Any game that's tagged with Steam achievements. Cool. Thanks. You should definitely look into like 100%ing the game. Should definitely look into that. All right, 2 minutes until it is done. Until the interview is ready. Ah, Zypherian, I caught you playing Overwatch 2. What are you doing over there? I'm kidding. You're playing on ranked? Fair. Well, this premieres in 60 seconds. We'll all be reacting to it. Yo, how's it going? I cannot read that that name there, but welcome to the stream. Can't believe FNAF is going to be 10 years old. Yeah. That's on the 7th officially, right? Which would make more sense to, like, in terms of the schedule. Why would they do 5 laps at Freddy's demo and not Into the Pit full game release? Unless the 8th is... No, the 8th is what it is. A game theory.
And with that, I'm gonna say, for one of the final times, not the final time, but one of the final times, as always, my friends, remember, it's just a theory. A game theory. Thank you.
Oh, you're gonna make me cry. Oh, it's Shima. Welcome, Shima. Welcome back, Shima. Premiere! Premiere's here! Gotta stop the music. Premiere's here! Alright. Is it gonna happen? Is it happening? Is it happening? Wait. Do I refresh? Where's the premiere? Dude, where is it? No. 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 You said 60 seconds and you lied to me. You lied. I've been lied to. Yeah, what do? I've been lied to. How's Shima doing? Brand new day. About to watch the interview. Oh!
Dad, this is literally the best day of my life.
I want to watch this movie, by the way. Get out of my way, though. We're not talking about Trap. Oh, another 2 minutes. Fine. I'm gonna lower the volume just a touch. Giving you a minute of lag because of stupid Twitch lag. Yikes. What's new with Shima? I don't even know exactly how long this is gonna be. Twitch sucks. Twitch has always sucked, dude. It used to be the apex. It used to be the apex predator here. But now it's down here. Kick is where it's at, apparently. Kick is the place to be. Every 10 minutes now. Are you able to do it on your phone? Alright, chat. 40 seconds. Let's get it. The kick is all about promoting gambling and drugs. Yeah, and watching movies illegally, which is actually a thing. And not just promoting gambling, but illegal gambling, by the way. There's one guy named Thor who was trying to call them out on it, and yeah, that didn't end very well for him. Oh, that is trippy stuff. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, I'll shut up now.
Scott, tell me what's in.
I think as the 10-year anniversary is upon us, I will give this as my gift to the fan base on this 10th anniversary.
What?
What's in the box is...
Wait. He's gonna talk about the box? No way. No way he's gonna talk about the box.
Hi, Mabel.
Yeah, she's the best. What's going on, guys? Stalker back again. Hope you're fantastic today. And it's the 10-year anniversary of Five Nights at Freddy's. It is August the 5th, which means if you've been looking at the list, what the official Twitter has been saying, it's the interview with Scott Cawthon, everybody.
Nice.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Yeah, he's gonna talk about the
FNAF
FNAF 4
Yeah,
box.
it's 6 years since the last interview, right? Which is crazy. A lot of things have been happening since then, so...
Just in
let's go
time,
back a little
Ecliptic.
bit. So the interview was August 2018. So after that, we got help wanted,
Uh-huh.
special delivery, security breach. Help
So, a
Wanted
lot of
2,
games.
Ruin DLC, so there's a lot going on. And of course, the future games as well. Yesterday, Steelwall has announced something. I don't know what it is yet because we're recording this, you know, a couple of months before. But guys, whatever it was, I hope you're very excited for it. Future Dorco, Into the Pit as well. Stuff to look, there's so much stuff to look forward to. And it's really cool that you've done like a week of exciting things for the 10-year anniversary. You know, we've never seen something like this before. 10 years of Five Nights at Freddy's, which is
My friend, you have met a
pretty
terrible,
crazy, right?
terrible
Man,
demise.
I can't believe it's been so long since
you know,
our
Like,
last
Period, that is
interview.
not a good time to
Like,
do
just,
that, my friend.
After
Holy
all,
cow.
It doesn't. How
If
long
it
did you
weren't
say
for
ago?
me,
6
it
years
would have
ago?
just been
That's
from
Seriously?
someone
hard to
else,
believe.
You know, I guess what I'm trying to say
Cypherian,
is
come on.
life goes
I'm
on.
turning that up.
WL from for everyone else, life goes on. Not.
Like, seriously? You're making me do this now? Okay. All right. Seriously.
I
It's
know.
impossible to believe.
I know, right? I've actually got a song for you that I'm going to play for you to celebrate the 10-year anniversary.
Okay, no, this is getting things off to a kind of an awkward start, but I'll let you go on ahead.
Okay. Are you
No,
ready
wait,
for
you're gonna
this?
be performing. Wait, you're gonna be performing this yourself, or is something recorded?
I've got the harmonica right here.
Oh, a harmonica. Okay, my
I've
favorite.
been practicing this song for over 32 years, okay?
As he's 28.
So, are you ready for this?
I'm ready. Come on now, you started this.
Right, okay.
Let's go.
Ready? I'm really good. I'm really good.
Now, I will admit that I couldn't actually hear that. I don't know if your thing was cutting the audio out.
Well, I actually played a spell.
What?
Oh,
The spell is from 1864 by a wizard
Uh-huh.
named Dewey Muscrewy.
Don't say anything important. I'm gonna
That
switch to Twitch.
spell
Fair
has
enough.
now hypnotized you to tell me all the lore of Five Nights at Freddy's.
oh, jeez. Now, I thought we talked about this in advance. Now, listen. This is a bad idea to start talking about lore. All right, well, here, you have to give me specific questions, and I'll see what I can answer for you.
I was joking.
But I make no promises.
Scott, tell me what's in the box.
Oh.
Wow, just direct.
Oh.
Just out and direct, just
Gonna
like
talk
that.
about the box?
Well, look, okay. It's the 10-year anniversary. Okay. And even though I like to be elusive, I like to kind of tease the fan base. I like to, and I do like there to be an air of mystery about things. Sometimes I do let things go on for too long. And I understand that sometimes things become not fun anymore and things can become frustrating for theorists. So, okay. I think as the 10-year anniversary is upon us, I will give this as my gift to the fan base on this 10th anniversary. What's in the box is
Oh, come on. Why? Oh, you got to blue ball us like that? Yeah, he wasn't gonna say
Oh my
it.
god.
and that's about it.
What?
And that's it, man.
Dude.
So, like we've been speaking about, 10 years of Five Nights at Freddy's, which is a crazy amount of
Really?
time. I can't believe we're still here.
Really?
It's been such a journey. So, I just wanted to ask you, do you have a highlight moment for the whole 10 years of Five Nights at Freddy's since 2014?
I think there have definitely been a lot of satisfying moments. Like, obviously, if whenever one of the new games would come out and it would be positively received, that was obviously a huge relief. You know, there's never been any goal other than just giving
Crazy
everybody
timing.
what they were really
Yeah.
hyped up about. Because, you know, when you see everybody getting hyped up and getting excited, if suddenly something comes out that just is a big letdown, there's no greater fear, I think, for a game developer. So that was always satisfying and a relief. But I think the biggest highlight was probably just going to the movie theater to watch the movie when it finally came out, because
the movie,
you know, behind the scenes of
he's still gatekeeping
all of the games throughout the years, and behind the scenes of all the books being written and everything else, there was always the movie. The movie was just a slow burn project, even just starting as late as 2014. So that has been in the background, being, you know, progressing for almost the entirety of that. No, not almost the entirety of that first 9 years. So to be able to actually go sit in the theater and hear the reaction from everybody and hear the fans really enjoy it, that was definitely
Zyphirian using ad blocker.
That was definitely a moment of just real happiness for me, I think.
Literally 9 years, you know, having ups and downs, you know, getting the script right as well. I know you've said on post before you've had so many scripts made for the movie. The plushies in Manhattan or something, that was one of the scripts. So
yeah, it was.
Yeah, I can imagine how, you know, difficult it's been, like trying to get it all done. You know, I can just imagine. Well, I can't imagine it because I'm not you, but you know, when me, Raz, and Ryan and Baz went to a premiere for it and sat down at the cinemas, and we all looked at each other at the end, and we had to, like, we couldn't believe it, and we didn't even make the games. We've been there since, you know, basically day one, but we all said, like, imagine how Scott's feeling right now, you know, just sitting down and seeing it actually, you know, on the big screen. It must be a crazy feeling.
Yeah, and now that I've been through the process, you know, I can tell you it's a miracle that any movie gets made, just being through that process, just how many wheels have to be turning at the same time, and how many things, and even though this process took a long time,
that's possible, Miss Force.
You know, Hollywood works at just blazing speed, where there's 100 things happening at the same time, and it's a miracle if these things get coordinated.
Even with the controversy, he's still in charge of the franchise. True.
On the day that I
think the controversy kind of
and the
dipped
shooting
down.
was supposed to start.
Nobody's talking
the
about
next
it.
Day, on that drive,
he still has a
on the
hand.
phone. It was like a 5-hour drive from where I was. I was on the phone the entire time trying to finish contracts and finish negotiating points, because there were still open items with there were still things that needed to be resolved with Universal, Blumhouse, the Actors Guild, the Writing Guild. There were just Louisiana. There were all of these things, and any one of them not being settled properly would mean we couldn't start filming. And all of those conversations were happening at the same time, and all of them depended on one of the other ones. And so that was a very stressful drive, but that's the way that Hollywood works. There's a million things happening at once.
Yeah.
It was definitely a whirlwind, but to see all of those pieces come into place, it was pretty remarkable.
Must have been pretty stressful,
and,
honestly,
like you were
chat.
saying, just all of the scripts, starting just with 2015. There were a couple of deals that weren't very good that I'm very fortunate didn't pan out. But then whenever I was with Warner Brothers briefly, that was a good deal, and I was very, very grateful to have that. But even that, whenever the stars seemed to have aligned, things just didn't work out there either. And so I was really fortunate to meet up with Jason Blum and get to have that deal with Blumhouse. You know, they had a lot of faith in the project, and they were following my lead on a lot of things, you know, sometimes to a fault, because lots of times I would throw things out and want to start over. But, they were with me the whole journey. They were with me, and they believed in the vision, and everybody just had the fans at heart. That's all anybody wanted to do. Everybody was just making sure that every part of the movie would be something that the fan base would look at and recognize or relate to or connect with. And I think in the end, we were able to accomplish that. And I'm just really happy with that. And
Nice.
I think we landed with just the perfect cast, which, again, that almost didn't happen either. There were a couple of instances where someone else was about to get a part, and then something would happen that would make that not work out, and then someone better would step in. And I've said this to, my contacts at Blumhouse numerous times just over this last 6 months, even since the movie came out, thinking, aren't we glad that we got like Josh Hutcherson for this role? Like, isn't it great we had Elizabeth Lail for this role?
Josh
Isn't it
Hutcherson was a
awesome
good
we had
choice.
Matthew Lillard for this role. isn't it great we ended up with Piper Rubio for this role? Like every single person that we ended up with was just absolutely perfect in those slots, and everybody was just a delight to work with. Once again, since I'm new to kind of the film industry, I got to talk to people about their other experiences on other projects, and it can be really scary because usually, from what I understand, every production has one member of the cast or one person on staff or just one person that causes problems or something like that. We didn't have anything like that. Nothing like that. Everybody was just phenomenal. They were just a joy to work with, and getting to go to filming was really fun. So it was a really fun experience, and in the end, I'm just happy that the fans were happy with it. Now, that's not to say the film didn't have it's places where it could have been improved, and we're all and we all, me and Emma and Jason
Film crew,
definitely chat about that, and looking to make sure the second movie is a step up and an improvement. So lots of good things to look forward to, I think.
Yeah, it's exciting. And yeah, you're right about the fan reaction. The fans absolutely
lots of things to look forward to. He's probably talking about the second movie.
It's so exciting. And I'm so glad it's actually happening as well. So yeah, exciting times. So yeah, you said that you've got a highlight of the 10 years of FNAF. If you could go back and change one thing in those 10 years, do you have anything that you would change? You can't say
there might be something wrong with your computer. It's working for everybody else.
No, the one thing I would change, I wish I could go back and have one more shot at FNAF World. I really, really do.
FNAF World.
I know it still would definitely be the oddball in the series, no doubt. And maybe it would still have been a poor decision in general, but there were just a lot of bad decisions made at the beginning of that project that doomed it from the start. Like, I was making it with mobile in mind, so it was a really slow resolution. I was thinking about it as a game on the phones. I tried to make the whole game on one frame in Click Team Fusion. That just means I wasn't allowing it to be as big as it could have been. I was trying to cram it all together for my own convenience. There were just several decisions that were made that really hindered that. And also I was in a rush because I was getting
FNAF World remake.
Getting a little arrogant, thinking that, hey, anything I make is going to be gold, and I definitely ate some humble pie with that really, really quick. And I learned that is not the case. And so I've tried to be very careful not make that mistake again after that. But yeah, if I could go back and change one thing, I wish I could maybe work with a different developer and just really make it a high resolution game. Get some really good graphics. Maybe get someone else to help me with those.
Is that a hint?
It could have been a good game.
Is that a hint, chat?
Maybe somewhere down the line,
FNAF
if I get
World
really antsy about it and have a lot of free time on my hands, maybe FNAF 2 or FNAF World 2 might be a thing.
Yeah, I was about to say that. You could still get a different company to do a FNAF World game. It's not over yet. I think I've said this to you
that would be sick.
I love FNAF World. I think it is so underrated, and I always say FNAF World is underrated. I love it so much. There's just a charm to it. I really do. And I know you don't like it, but I absolutely love it, man. I really do. I love everything about it.
If I had allowed myself to work on it for one more year, just like really double its development cycle and let it be a high res game, I bet it would have really been something. But like I said, who knows? Maybe for the sequel someday.
Dude.
Steel Wall.
The entire the community would go wild over it.
That was the next game after Ultimate Custom Night. Help Wanted. One of my favorite games in VR. I absolutely loved it. What has it been like working with Steel Wall? Were you nervous about it? Because I know it's a big thing to give a company your baby basically and let them do what you've been doing for the past 5 years. How was it?
We're talking about Steel Wall.
Letting someone else work on FNAF.
I was really nervous about it. I was really nervous. I went several years still doing it by myself, even after I had the financial ability to pay other people. Again, I wasn't in that mentality of being able to do that. So even though I could have done that, I was still doing things just all by myself, all the way up through Pizzeria Simulator.
Yeah.
But by then it was I knew that it was getting too much for me. I knew that I had to find another partner for it, and I was scared of that because there are stories all over the internet available about just games that went completely wrong because of games being mismanaged in the hands of development companies.
Yeah, that's probably a confirmation.
And I'm sure that all of their pitches on the surface would have sounded the same, but I really got lucky. For that reason, I really feel like I got lucky because whereas I probably could have accidentally ended up with a company that did botch something. I didn't. I think I really honestly believe that I landed with the best, just one of the best development companies. They've been just a pleasure to work with, and they've done a really great job. You know, this last one they did, Ruin, I thought it was just so much fun. And I think that might be one of the I think that might be my favorite thing that they've made was Ruin, and the things that they have planned, which I'm not going to talk about right here, but the things that they have planned are really exciting too. So yeah, I've been really happy. It's been a really good experience. Well, I'll tell you on Help Wanted, well, I was going to throw in, I'm happy with how Help Wanted came out.
It's weird how you get ads.
And I don't have,
Zephyrian of all people.
I don't have a 3D. I don't have a
Considering
VR
you're a mod
anymore. But whenever the first Help Wanted came out, I did have a VR setup, so I was able to beta test. And of course, I was leading the charge to want to beta test my own games. I got into the Fun Time Auditorium and and I noped out of it. I took the headset off, and I immediately got on the phone with Steel One and said, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to test it. You test it. You're going to test it. You'll find someone else to test it. I didn't even get jump scared by Foxy. I was just in there in the darkness, and I knew I wasn't going to do it. And I never played it again. And I never played Help Wanted. And I never played Help Wanted 2 either. And I'm not going to.
People need to understand it though, right? Because in the past, like,
he's never played Help Wanted or Help Wanted 2.
Help Wanted 1 and 2. I get a comment saying like, oh, it's not that scary. You're overreacted. It's not that bad. But you don't know until you've literally put on the headset, right?
That's true.
It's completely
That's true.
different, you know, just watching it from a screen is compared to having the actual headset on. It's terrifying.
Yeah, completely different experience.
My other question, Glitch Trap is one of my favorite characters in FNAF.
Oh, come on, dog. You can do better than that.
What are your thoughts on Glitch Trap as a whole? With the
Steel Wool did botch something, but in the funniest way possible.
I love the character.
Through that.
And I know that this is kind of one of the places where I
what
know
he bought? What did they botch?
Divide with maybe me and the fan base, or maybe just within the fan base.
FNAF security breach glitches.
I always lean sci-fi. I have a tendency to lean sci-fi, even though I try to come back into the roots of the supernatural instead. But I can't help my inclinations to lean sci-fi. So anything that involves possession of AI or possession of machines or circuitry, that I love that sort of thing. So I love the idea of Glitch Trap. I'm not a huge fan of the name, and here's the way that these things happen. Okay, and this happened with Burn Trap too. Whenever I'm in the planning phase with Steel Wool, we come up with temporary names for these characters. You know, whenever we're doing the pre-production document, I'll say, oh, well, he's glitchy. We'll call him Glitch Trap. Oh yeah, he's Burn. We'll just call him Burn Trap. But then those names get embedded in the source code because they use those temporary names also. And once they're in the source code, and once someone finds them in the source code, that's it. Like that's the canon name now, and there's nothing I can do about it.
That's rough.
And hopefully we're learning our lessons going forward to maybe find
the release version.
To just hone in on a better process there, because yes, I love the character. Not a huge fan of the name, but it is what it is for now. You know, it's the name.
I love Glitch Trap's name.
he just ruined him. Just destroyed him.
Can you think of a name like on the spot, like what you would want to call him or not?
Oh, I have no idea. But you know what? A good example is Mexus, you know, from Ruin. Now that was a character where
Rose, thank you for the follow.
Even in just my design of the game, I thought that through, and I came up with that. And I'm really happy with it. I really like that name. It's a really cool name. But now, see, if I didn't have one of those ready to fire off, I might have thought up something like, I don't know, Purple Trap or you know, or AI Trap, or just something temporary, and then that would have been the can name. That would have been so much worse than Mexus. So
after Help Wanted,
Mexus is definitely the name for that.
Were you happy with the release of Security Breach when it first came out?
Security Breach, there's a really big story behind that. That was definitely a challenging period, and a lot of things just didn't align up perfectly for that, and there were a lot of reasons for that. I mean, obviously, I hear lots of studios and things kind of blame COVID for stuff, but there is a reason for that. You know, COVID took well-structured work systems and suddenly scattered them and expected the work to continue to flow, and it just doesn't work that way. From my understanding, I'm pretty sure most, if not every, member of Steel Wool got scattered across the country, and we're trying to just carry on with the workflow. And it was just really difficult. I think that's really the only example when my idea of how a game was going to go was misaligned with how things were going with Steel Wool. And I had a specific story for this in mind. Okay, for Security Breach, I really did. I had a very specific story in mind, and it is very different than the one that got in the game. And I think a part of that is the way that I conveyed that to Steel Wool.
First open world
what I
FNAF game was
trying to do
technically
I was trying to tell
FNAF
Steel
World.
Wool to do specific
you're
things
right, Monzero.
throughout the game, put specific items in specific places, have specific characters do certain things, meanwhile not telling them what the story plot was. Because in my head, I was thinking, okay, when people find this, they will connect this to this to this, and it will all be revealed. And I thought I could do that without telling Steel Wool the story plot. That didn't work out very well because they got all of these pieces and they thought it was their job to connect them in a way that made sense. And so really what you ended up having were the same pieces, but telling completely different stories. And since I was trying to kind of tell a specific story with mine that went a certain direction, they were taking pieces I didn't fully understand and trying to craft a story.
Shorts sucks, I feel you.
And again,
I actually stopped doing shorts.
I blame myself for that
completely.
I guess what I should have done is just said, hey, here's the story.
For that
here's
kind of
why
reason.
these pieces are here. Here's how they're supposed to connect. And I can give you a really easy example for this. And I'm hesitant to say this because I don't like messing with the lore, but I think in this case, it's okay. When it comes to Burn Trap, originally, Burn Trap was never supposed to move. He was supposed to just be something you saw in the corners, or like if you were walking past machinery, you might be able to peek in between two things and see him in the corner or propped up against a wall, almost like a some kind of decaying movie prop, and you never fully understood what his purpose was. And he had a very specific purpose, and I'm not going to say what that purpose was, but realistically, he never moved. Well, obviously that's not what we got in Security Breach. In Security Breach, we got a capsule opening and purple smoke flowing out and him climbing out and coming to get you. And so it's just not quite the same thing. So, but anyway, it didn't turn out the way anybody wanted, but hey, whenever that happens,
that's funny,
just
fun.
like whenever I stepped in it a little bit with FNAF World, me and Steel Wool got together, we were like, look, all that matters now is making things right by the fan base. That's all that matters. We all had the best intentions going on. We all wanted to make a good product, and we went in and we made
on YouTube
Ruin for it, and I hope that redeemed the game, and I feel like it did because I think it was really great.
Ruin definitely was an improvement from
that we do
Security Breach
forward
for sure.
Continues that story or has those same themes. I think we're just going to be in a much better situation to continue on.
So, the Ruin DLC came
out, people aren't really upset with that anymore.
Which is crazy to think about.
I will be doing a challenge with Security Breach.
And the fan
soon.
reaction to that was amazing. Everybody loved it, and everybody's looking forward to what's next. The ending of Ruin with a specific character.
Oh, he's talking about Mimic.
Character into the games, the Mimic. Any thoughts on the Mimic?
I cannot share any thoughts on the Mimic other than I really like that character. This is a character that I really like and I'm really excited about. I think it's a really terrific antagonist, and I don't think it's the last that we've seen of the Mimic. That's all I'll say.
Yes. With that, do you have a favorite character in the Steel Wool era of games?
I mean, Music Man is too obvious of an answer, right? I mean, I think all those characters turned out great. In fact, I think this is why it's hard to pick a favorite, because all of them turned out so well. I've always really liked Vanny as a character. I don't think that Vanny was utilized to her fullest potential, and so hopefully we'll see.
Is this an old interview? No, this is current.
For Vanny to return as well.
This just got released.
Ooh, okay. Moving on to the books. So the books have been amazing.
I actually never read the books, chat. Never read the books.
Doing little summary videos on the channel with Fazbear Frights. That was awesome. How has it been working on Fazbear Frights?
It's actually really enjoyable. It's probably one of the most enjoyable things that I do, because I just get to think up a really scary scenario, and then I create maybe a 10 to 15 page story out of it, And then I have writers that I work with, obviously, and they take that and they really flesh it out and fill it out and add the details and turn it into a full-length story. And I get to kind of just really see it come to life. So it's been really enjoyable, and that's something that I really enjoy. It's funny because it's one of those things where as long as I know that that's something that's
and half the time Vanny was always glitched
at the gym, or I might be
Scott was involved with FNAF. No,
suddenly something will come to mind, and I'll be like, oh man, this is gonna make a great story, and I get right home and I start working on it.
Do you have a favorite story out of all of them?
I think my favorite story it's probably Bunny Call.
Technically, this is spoilers. I've never read the books.
Choice, but there's a reason for it, because some of these stories are based on my real life experiences. Bunny Call is not completely made up. I used to take my family to a family summer camp. Okay, this is one of my two. This is my two oldest boys were maybe 11 and 12 at the time. Or no. I bet they were 13 and 14. It's hard to remember exactly when this was. But then I had younger two that were just babies still. And whenever we showed up at camp, and we were all in the auditorium signing up for activities, it was rafting and boating. One of the things you could sign up for was a panda call. Okay. And a panda call it's a very deceiving title, because what that meant is that early in the morning, a bunch of the camp counselors dressed as killer clowns would come into your cabin and scare the crap out of your kids to wake them up early and drag them off to their daily activities. And so I signed up my two oldest, Ian and Braden, my old beta testers from whenever they 2
minutes of editing
all their lives testing my games. I signed them up for it. And I thought, oh yeah, this will be kind of fun. It was kind of fun until the next morning started rolling around. I started thinking about what I'd done, because then the next morning I woke up at 5 a.m. and I realized they're out there somewhere. Like this is happening right now. And I started listening for screams, and I started listening for noises. And I even snuck out and went outside. It was dark and there were crickets chirping, and I was looking around, and I just thought to myself, somewhere out here in the dark in these trees are a bunch of clowns, and they're coming to my cabin. and it was a really, really scary sensation. And so then I just went back inside, and I looked at my family sleeping. I looked at my baby sleeping, and my kids and my wife, and I was like, what have I done? What have I done? Of course, it ended up not being a big deal, because then I just heard a soft knock at the door, and I opened it, and there was a row of killer clowns. I said, never mind, you guys, and they just walked on. And so it wasn't a big deal, but it was still a really eerie feeling like I had signed up for something that I'd regretted and I couldn't undo it, And so I based Bunny Call on that.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is hilarious.
You said that you've got relatable stories. Do you have a relatable story with Fazgoo?
Look, okay. Listen, anytime there's a series of a whole bunch of different things, you're going to have some that are great, and then some that's like, well, like what was going on with this? I don't know how to explain the Fazgoo. I'm sure I had something in mind that was really great, but they can't all be winners. Now I will say a couple of the other ones that had real life connections. Sometimes you hear about people talking about their sleep paralysis demons or whatever. That's never really made sense to me, but now it kind of makes sense to me, and I don't know why it does. Yeah, every once in a while, a person you'll wake up, but you'll still be paralyzed in your sleep, and for some reason, I guess in that moment, you're still half dreaming, and so you have a tendency to still maybe see something before you fully wake up. And the Blackbird creature was mine. That creature on the cover of Blackbird is my sleep paralysis demon, because I was on vacation, I was by myself, and I don't know what the circumstances were. I feel like I was taking a midday nap, but I woke up with a jolt, and for a split second I saw that thing standing over me, and I couldn't move, and my body was tingling, and I was just frozen up, and I was just so disoriented after that. But I never forgot that, and I knew immediately after that, it's like, I've got to get this into a story somewhere, like this crazy looking creature.
That is crazy. That is absolutely
Anybody
crazy.
else have stuff like that?
I've never had sleep paralysis, so I don't know what my creature would look like, but I hope it doesn't look like that.
I don't think it's a normal experience. I don't think it's an experience you should want to have. I don't feel like it's a healthy thing. So
no.
if that hasn't happened to you, I think you're in a good place.
Do you have a least favorite story?
I don't know. I think it probably might be the Fazgoo, or no. I mean, come on, it's got to be the one where the guy gets pregnant with Springtrap's
Reading horror
baby.
games
I'm
and
not
books
sure what
might
I was
have you-
thinking about. You know,
Might make you have nightmares
again,
more
that's
often,
one of those things where,
probably.
oh man, this is going to be really creepy. But then you step back and look at it from afar, and you're like, I don't know if this is a good idea. And I swear I wasn't picking on MatPat. That wasn't a story designed with MatPat in mind. It really, really wasn't. You know, listen, whenever you're doing these stories for this long, eventually you just run out of names, and you're going to cover all the names. You know, eventually I'll get around to Dawko. You know, and so if you see Dawko in one of these stories, it's not something personal. It's just because I ran out of names. You know,
I don't know. Dawko is a very specific name that you'd have to get to.
I probably have a few more to go through before I get to that, so you don't have anything to worry about.
When doing my summary videos, and I know a lot of people say the same. People who loved Goosebumps when they were kids find these.
I
really
love
relatable,
Goosebumps, bro.
Right. And I know kids at school now read Fazbear Frights like they're Goosebumps books. And as a kid, my favourite TV show was Goosebumps. Would you ever think about or like the idea of Fazbear Frights ever being like a TV show?
He
like
asked the
Goosebumps,
question.
where it's like a series of some of the best stories.
Oh
or
my
something
gosh. Oh my
adapted?
gosh. He said that he asked the question.
He
He
and that's
asked
something
the
that
question.
can definitely happen, especially now that the first movie came out and was successful. I think that really opens the door to lots of other
Oh
potential
my gosh. He said.
opportunities. The only thing to be mindful of is I don't want to oversaturate the market and just create too much. And I think that sometimes we get a little bit of that where franchises have movies and too many TV shows, and it just kind of waters everything down. But I really do like that idea, and it is definitely something that could
Fazbear
happen,
Frights
for sure.
TV series.
Awesome. So
Oh
the next
my
segment
gosh.
is the FNAF
Netflix,
movie.
dude.
I've got some questions for you, Scott. First off, I absolutely loved the movie, as you know, and I know a lot of people did as well. The fans absolutely loved it, and it did really well at the box office as well. Super successful. Congratulations to you, Blumhouse, Universal. So yeah, first question is, how was working on the first FNAF movie after waiting for so long, after announcing it back in 2015? Well, you emailed me back in 2015 about it. I still remember that email. But yeah, how was it?
It took a really long time to get off the ground, really just because of the screenplay. But after the screenplay was really locked in, from there, all the wheels started turning. You know, all the engines fired, and it took off, and it was a really fun experience from
Did I
there.
get the MatPat YouTubes? No.
And really, the screenplay
I
had a
get
lot of
YouTubes.
challenges because of what it was, and it's really, you know, throughout all of those years, I worked with a lot of different directors, a lot of different writers, a lot of really talented people that eventually would end up leaving the project, but still really talented people. And it was really just a matter of there's just material that's difficult to translate to the screen. And one of the biggest issues is the animatronics, obviously being the monsters in the monster movie. If I were to approach any writer of a horror movie or any director and say, okay, here are your monsters, go make a monster movie with them, that's easy. You know, you give them all a knife, you go in, you just make your generic
James Stone was
slasher,
perfect
have it be,
in that movie.
you know, Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy doing the slashing. The nuance here is that these animatronics are possessed by the spirits of kids, and these are innocent kids. These are victims themselves. So it's very, very difficult to still have a horror movie, still have those kills that you need, but still preserve the innocence of those kids. And it's a really difficult thing to do. And there were several screenplays that did not hit that mark. And I think I was more cautious about that and more picky about that than anything else. If kind of the innocence of those spirits was not preserved properly, I wasn't going to go forward with it. And so, you know, one quick example is the way that we were able to have a couple of kills in the movie was obviously the vandals. You know, you have a group of people who are breaking in, they're disrespecting the place, they're trashing the place, they're there with bad intentions, and then you combine that with the fact that these animatronics are, you know, the spirits in them are these kids that are basically very confused and lost, animals backed into a corner, and kind of left with this impression that adults are out to get them, and then you have these violent adults breaking in. And so it allows you to have that kill count while still being like, well, I can kind of see how that might happen.
Yeah.
It was a tricky thing to do, but I think we were able to accomplish that.
Manipulated by William Afton still as well.
Yeah,
right?
that's right. That's absolutely right. The drawing on the wall was also kind of this layer, this blanket of manipulation over them all. So all those things combined you could see how these actions could happen.
Point of old man
while it's not
consequences. I could
necessarily
explain
being
that a
the
little
fault
later.
of the kids.
With the fort scene as well, I loved the fort scene. I know some people were a bit confused by that, like why are they building a fort? But
I didn't like the fort scene, by the way. I'm one of the few people that actually did not like it.
I got it straight away. You know, you just want to show the audience that they're just kids, right? You know, were you happy with the first movie and how it came out?
Yes, I am. I am very happy. I mean, look, anytime anybody, I think pretty much anybody who's been through a process like this would be able to look back. And I do this with my games too. You look back and you're like, well, I wish I'd tweaked this. Oh, maybe this could have been like this, or maybe this could have been like that. But you have to just really take a step back and look at it as a whole, and where it came from, all the things that could have gone wrong, and all the things that went right, and just be really grateful that so many things just fell into
Just
place.
leave.
You know, and I can give you a really quick example of why I don't want to second guess too much. You know, at the 11th hour
Okay,
of this
fine.
movie
I'll
coming
leave.
together, we still really didn't have a music composer, and I'd really wanted an animated intro. I was really pushing to have that 8-bit animated intro, but we didn't have anybody, and really not really anybody to have an idea of what kind of music we were looking for. 11th hour, Newton Brothers come in and they write out that banger of a track, like absolute insane. Like I listened to that the first time and I was like, wait a minute, do I have a theme song? Does Five Nights at Freddy's have a theme song? You know, and I called Emma Tammy on the phone. I was like, wait, do we have a theme song now? Like, I can't tell you how excited I was over that. And you better believe you're going to hear that again at the beginning of the second movie too. I mean, like that was just so incredible. The Newton Brothers just knocked that out of the park. So yeah, so many things went right.
Let's go.
That I don't think I'm going to dwell too much on, you know, what I would go back and try to do differently.
As we know, the movie was a major hit in 2023, super successful, the biggest horror movie of 2023 as well. How does that feel seeing that happen?
It's nice. That part is nice. It's more important to me that if the critics had loved it, but the fan base was grumbling and saying, wait, this isn't how it is in the lore. Wait, we didn't like this. I don't like how they did this and this. And the fan base was unhappy. That would be a failure to me. I'm perfectly happy with all the critics hating it and the fan base reacting positively to it. So yes, it is nice that the movie was successful. However, that is not the correct metric by which to judge the success of this movie. And in fact, opening night, which was Thursday night, you know, where I am, I went to the very first showing and the theater was pretty much empty. There were only a couple other people in there, but it was a 1:00 showing. So, but still, I saw that as kind of a bad sign, but I just watched it anyway. Then I went to the next showing, which was just later in the evening. And I told myself I wasn't going to go online. I wasn't going to read any reviews. I had already told everybody at Blumhouse, and I told my legal team, don't talk to me, don't call me, don't email me, don't send me charts, don't send me facts or figures. I don't want to hear anything about anything. I'm going through this whole weekend blind.
Yeah.
I just want to experience what everybody else is experiencing. Well, before I went into that second showing, I was just by myself. And then later that evening, my whole family was coming into town, by the way. My whole family was going to come into town and watch the movie with me that night. But this showing, I was still sitting by myself. I was checking my email, and I accidentally saw one of the reviews. And I saw that it was terrible. And that opened the floodgates, and I went and started reading all of the other reviews.
Oh, no.
And I immediately texted my family saying, don't come. Don't come. You know, this is over. I want to be by myself. And I was already thinking in my head, like, how am I going to write a letter to Blumhouse apologizing for this? How am I going to write a letter to the fans apologizing to this for just wasting everybody's time?
Oh,
and
man,
I was
that's got to be
incredibly depressed. But somehow Jason Blum caught wind of this. I don't know who I asked a question to or what I said, but you know, he started just bombarding me with text messages saying, Scott, the fans love it. The fans love it. You know, the movie's a big hit. Everything's great. He was just, you know, in all caps, everything all caps. My phone was just blowing with all caps texts. And so he really talked me through that to try to encourage me that even though the critics hated it, you know, there was a lot to be loved there by the fans. And so then I had my family come into town anyway, and we just sat in a packed theater and listened to you know, the cheers and enthusiasm, and it really lifted my spirits. But you know, for a couple of hours there, man, I was pretty distraught. I thought the whole thing was just a complete disaster.
But it
Oh,
wasn't.
But it wasn't.
Yay.
It all worked out okay.
yeah,
you know,
movies
it all
for the
worked out okay.
fans, not the critics.
And
Exactly.
the movie's not perfect. There's definitely room to improve. But yeah, I'm definitely happy that it was in general received well by the fan base.
The second movie, which is, you know, it's been announced that it's going to be coming out in 2025. Is it December 2025?
Yeah, December 5th, 2025, I think.
Is there anything exciting to talk about on the second movie? Anything you want to say?
I'm not going to give away too many details.
Oh, here we go.
But I
Here we go.
will say that I'm following kind of the same formula where the first movie is focused on the first game. So I'm going to try to carry on that tradition onward with future movies. And I think that is absolutely the way to go. And I think
Let's
everyone's
go.
going to be really, really excited for what's planned for the second one. You know, the first
No,
one
he
was
did not
really
confirm.
challenging
He did
because
not
it's so
confirm a
much
release
setup.
date.
It's like, how do
Release date
you
yet?
establish all of this? But now that we have that launch pad, where to go from there came a lot just more natural. It felt a lot more natural. And we were able to really craft just a really great story, I think. And I'm really excited about it. And I won't say anything more, but I'm really hopeful that everyone's
I'll
going
be
to really
25.
love what's gonna come around December 2025.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
there it is.
exciting. And
December
Emma back
2025
and
is confirmed.
Oh
everything
yes,
as
yeah,
well?
Emma's gonna be back. She did such a great job on that first one, you know.
Yeah, that's really good having the same director. So now we're going to be talking about
Into the Pit. Here we go. Here
the
we
new
go.
game that's coming out by Mega Cat Studios. We just got the trailer, another trailer, a couple like last week, and it looks amazing. It looks so good. How has it been working on the game based on a Fazbear Fright story?
It's definitely been a unique experience. You know, I first started talking to Meg. I mean, it's been years and years since that game has been in development.
December 5th,
and originally, it was just supposed to be a little novelty one-off. Like, oh yeah, here's this little.
But he's
company that makes
reconfirming it.
16-bit cartridges, and that was immediately appealing to me because I'm all about the Super Nintendo. And so if I could make something that would come on the Super Nintendo cartridge, you know, sign me up. That was the most exciting thing, the most exciting product I'd ever worked on. It was still just supposed to be a novelty, but as the development went on, everybody was looking at it thinking, this looks pretty good. This actually looks really good. And so they just kept on going with it. They could have stopped a lot sooner, and they could have stopped with just a little simple novelty game, but they just kept going. And I kept looking at thinking, yeah, keep going. And they kept going, and I would keep looking at it. And it just turned into this big, full-fledged, full-sized game. So we obviously decided to venture away from strictly the cartridges, so that everybody can be able to play it on Steam and everything. But it's really unique. It's just a really, really unique game, and I do love that it really gets into just this really gritty these kind of gritty graphics that I haven't seen since, well, I guess since the late 90s, whenever you had those point and click type adventures and you had that real kind of that pixelated art style that can be really creepy at times. I don't know. It's going to be a really unique experience, and I think that everyone's going to really be excited about it. I really do.
Awesome. I can't wait to play it. How is it
coming out soon.
working with Mega Cat Studios then?
Oh, it's been great. It's been really great. I really haven't had to give them. I mean, I have had to give them direction, but for the most part, it's been weird. They would go into the hole for 6, 7, 8 months at a time, and I wouldn't hear anything from them, to the point where I thought, is this okay? And I would even, you know, I talk to the other people that I work with, like, is this game okay? Is this going to be okay? Are they okay? Do I need to check on this? Do we need to check on them over there? But then I would get an update, and it would just be all this crazy new stuff and all this crazy detail, this fluid animation. It's just crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. And then they'd go back into the hole again for 5, 6, 7 months. And then we just repeat that cycle. But now here we are finally at the end of that road, and I think it's just turned out really great. Like
What's
I said,
the box?
really unique.
He hasn't
I think everybody's
said
gonna really like
it cut out.
The reaction to the trailer has been amazing. All positive feedback about it. Super excited.
Maybe at the end of the video.
People
Hopefully.
love the story of Into the Pit as well. Into the Pit's probably my favourite Fazbear Fright story. So with all the positive feedback about it, what do you see for the future of FNAF spin-offs made by other studios in the future?
Oh, it's definitely a possibility. In fact, I'd really like them to start working on Fetch. I think Fetch would make a really good game after this. Some stories obviously cater more toward being a good game than others.
What is it?
But there's something really scary
it's a box
about
with
the thought
locks.
of something always being out there and kind of watching your house, and then trying to come in and do things for you. Like, this is kind of a scary thought. The thought that I might be online shopping and looking for a specific thing, and somehow something out there is hearing that and receiving that, and then gonna come to me, sneak inside and put it somewhere without me knowing that it was there. It's just a creepy scenario. It's a creepy setup. And I think it'd be a really cool game to have to stop this thing, because obviously Fetch was out doing a lot of menacing things, to have to sneak around a neighborhood and stop this thing that's sneaking around so undetected. I think it'd be a really cool game. So hopefully that'll be the next project. We'll see.
Ooh.
As the franchise,
There's a lot of projects coming out.
What
a lot of
challenges
projects
have you faced with running a franchise of this size? Is there anything you could think you could be doing better?
I think something I should have maybe been doing better is I should have had a better structure in place as far as people to talk to the fan base. I've always kept that on myself all during the years, and in the early years, I think that worked great because it was a little indie game, a little indie community, and then me, the indie dev, just chatting with the community and talking. But as the years go by and the franchise gets bigger and bigger, I don't know. I feel like I've slowly kind of lost touch with the fan base. Unfortunately, it's not that same. It's not that same relationship that it used to be. I really used to enjoy chatting with everybody and just kind of I don't know, and I guess that's expected, because FNAF is more of a big, it's kind of just kind of a bigger thing now, and it's bigger than one person, and I can't just pretend like I can hop online and chat with everybody and solve everybody's problems anymore. Used to, I kind of could. I could just go in there and chat with everybody and resolve little problems as if it was like just a squabble on a forum. I can always just step in and solve it, but it's just not the same. And I think that I should have realized that sooner. And I'm really only realizing that this year, that I really need to have a better structure in place. And the fan base deserves that. The franchise deserves that. The fan base deserves that, to have more people in charge and running a Twitter page and official news feeds, so that there's not so much confusion about what's real and what's not real. And
pretty much, Montero. Pretty much.
Is this confirmed? Is this not confirmed? I could have avoided.
I figure it'll probably cost around $20.
That if I just kind of
most
had
indie
a
games
better
are
structure in place with people to listen to, and like I said, a news feed and someone else to just provide better answers to the fan base. So I'm trying to get all that in place, and I really think I think it would just better serve the fan base. I think everybody would be a little happier if it's not just me trying to jump in and straighten things out when needed.
Yeah, I think the Twitter's a great idea. We're recording this in June, but
that was a smart choice. Everybody's on Twitter these days.
During that week is really exciting and really good. So people can get excited for the anniversary. They kind of know what's coming, which is really exciting. And communication like that, it's people have really appreciated that, so thank you for doing that, and looking forward to seeing what happens next on the Twitter, what they announce. And apart from the second movie to look forward to, is there anything else you could hint at for the future? Any future titles or any little hints to get people excited for the future?
One of the good things is going to be coming from Steel Wool, but that's going to be announced here in this same week that your interview is going to air. So
we remote stream. We'll still do one.
In fact, I'm not sure if it was right before this or right.
I have another stream planned out that I'll do first.
Yesterday.
Okay. And obviously everybody knows about the movie, and right now the books are these interactive books, which I read things like that growing up, and so I'm excited about those. And I've tried to add some depth into those to where you can actually collect items in them and things like that. So it's really not just about picking a path; it's about picking a path and getting something, and then going to the other path and being able to use something. So it makes it more interesting and more intricate. But yeah, I mean, that's the plan for movies, games, and books. And I already told you my hope for the next Mega Cat game.
Either a mainline game or a DLC.
And there is another game planned with Steel Wool, but that's not going to be announced for a while yet. So I can't talk about that. But there is something down the pipe.
Ooh.
Okay.
even beyond what's being announced
Chat,
this week, there's
ooh.
something beyond. But I can't talk about that.
Yeah, so I won't spoil anything. But I read the week before, guys, and it is good. So please, check it out when it comes out. I'm looking forward to the Into the Pit one. VIP is the interactive.
Sounds like we're coming to a close
VIP
here.
Another one as well.
Come on, what's in the box?
Yes, yeah. VIP it's one that I did with Scholastic, just like the others, but it's just going to be free. It's specifically for this event. I mean, I might still be included in a box set later down the road, but no, for this week, it was made specifically for this event. By the same author,
Why
I
stop?
believe, as the week before.
Good
so
business
if you enjoyed
deals.
that one, you'll enjoy VIP. And I really love the story for VIP. I'm not going to ruin it, but it might be one of my favorites. So hopefully everybody really enjoys that.
That's awesome. I'm pretty sure it comes out before the interview. So
okay,
yeah,
great.
Future me, if you're watching, you probably loved it. There is a collab announcement tomorrow from this interview.
Let's go. I knew they were going to talk about this. I knew they were going to talk about this.
It seems that you've been more open with collaborations with games recently. The Funko one as well. Are you more open to more collabs since we last spoke?
You're asking the wrong question.
Like, would you be interested in whatever it is? I don't know, like Fortnite or Dead by Daylight. Of those.
Oh, Dead by Daylight would be cool.
I'm very careful with collaborations because I want to protect the brands and I want to make sure that Five Nights at Freddy's stays as Five Nights at Freddy's. And there are some games where even if I really enjoy the game, it just doesn't feel like a good match. It feels like a mismatch.
Chat.
The brand integrity is the most important thing for me, and keeping everything feeling like it belongs. And so that's really been my only
Chat.
That's really been my
I don't
only,
think it's
only
Fortnite.
hesitancy. I feel like I am branching out a little bit, and I am a little bit more open to those things than maybe I was in the early years, but I'm still very.
It might not be Fortnite.
We'll just see. We'll
it
see.
It could be Day by Daylight.
Okay. Anything else you would like to add to finish off the interview?
Let's see here. No, I mean, I think things are in a good place, and like I said, I think that the things that are on the horizon are all things to be excited about, and I think that everybody's going to really enjoy. The things that the fan base really going to enjoy. And I wish I could talk about those more, but I don't feel like I can.
So do you think we're going to have another interview in 10 years time?
It doesn't have to be 10 years. We can try to do this a little bit more often.
But what, every 5 years?
Yeah, every 5 years. There we go.
Okay. Shaking your hand.
Just make it a regular thing.
Okay, awesome. The biggest thing that everybody has been begging me for this interview when I announced it is the box.
Oh,
that is, everybody just wants to know anything about it because it's the biggest mystery out of the whole 10 years of FNAF.
Come on, please. Come on, please.
Motorist is number 2, but yeah, I'd say the box is the biggest mystery that everybody wants. Like even a tiny snippet.
Come on.
Something.
Don't do it this time.
Okay. Well, I can try to give somewhat of an answer to that, even though it might not be extremely satisfying for a lot of people. So I would encourage people to turn off the interview if they don't want an answer that they might not be happy with. But
okay,
whenever I make these games, there are a lot of things that are in my head that are just flowing ideas. And when I have them and put them there, it's the first half of something. It's like a string or a rope, just like reaching out. And I know that what's there on the other end is there. I trust that it's there. I know that it's there. And then whenever I progress forward, the rest of that just reappears. The rest of it appears and just fits into place perfectly. That's all my games have been made. I feel that there is something there, and I make the roads to get there for that to be revealed. But then sometimes when things do progress, the roads aren't always the same roads as the ones that had been planned before. And so what that means is, even though at the time something was definitely there, something was definitely reaching out to be there, and I could feel that it was there, the progression of the story didn't go there. and so those strings never got pulled on, and those and the other half of that idea remained in the
There's
ether, remained in my
Lemonary.
subconscious. All of that to say, there is something in the box, but I never pursued it, and I don't know if I can find it again. And I think that that's the best answer that I can possibly give for that.
Scott, thank you so much for the interview. Myself and everybody really does appreciate it.
Theories are
We're
going to
looking
go
forward to
wild
the
over that.
future. We're looking forward to this week. Future me is probably stressing out, playing all the demos and getting ready for Into the Pit in a few days. I'm so excited for Into the Pit. I really, really am. And all the fanverse stuff as well. My Pop Goes and The Joy of Creation, that demo. I'm looking forward to playing all of those as well and reading the new book. There's a lot in that week. I'm going to just be
Perhaps Souls,
MIA
possibly.
the whole week. I've already told my friends and family.
Subscribe, lost the keys to the box.
I'm not going to be here for the whole week. Don't call me. Don't text me. I'm going to be in this room just doing everything I can that week. And yeah, we really do appreciate it. So yeah, I think that's it. Which is really weird. That hour went so quick. Thank you guys for watching. Again, I appreciate you guys.
Okay. So the whole like collaboration, because I mean that's coming up pretty darn quickly, right? I don't think it's gonna be FNAF, and the reason I say that is because of what he was just saying. He was mentioning how if it doesn't fit with the brand of FNAF, it might not be a thing. Explain to me how Fortnite would relate to FNAF, and then explain to me how Dead by Daylight would. Right? That's an interesting way of thinking of it. So it's either Dead by Daylight or it's Fortnite. It's one of the two. It could just be coincidence with Fortnite that the update is at the same day of the collab announcement. But Dead by Daylight would be so much better. Like imagine what you could do with Freddy. Creating like a decayed Freddy character. That'd be so cool, dude. That would be so cool. I don't know. I'm starting to have second thoughts about Fortnite. Now I'm kind of leaning a little bit more towards Dead by Daylight. Which, I mean, I'd probably play it. Now imagine it's neither. Yeah, there is no collab. Can't explain, but Fortnite would just be funny. A Minecraft collab. A Minecraft FNAF. There's just so many possibilities. I guess we're just gonna have to find out in the next couple of days here. That's huge. That is huge. But yeah.
Thank you. Without you guys watching the channel, you know, I wouldn't be doing this in the first place, interviewing Scott. So it really does mean a lot to me. Thank you so much. And yeah, I hope you all have a fantastic 10-year anniversary week.
A Roblox collab.
Playing the demos and reading the books and stuff, and are excited for Into the Pit. And Steel Wars announcement as well. That's so exciting. But yeah.
Cool. So cool. That is so cool, chat. So cool. Okay. Well, that is it for the interview. There's a lot of really good pointers, especially when it comes to the FNAF 2 movie. Definitely, like, I mean, having the same director, that's probably the smartest move that you can go with, especially seeing as she did really well in the first film. Now everybody's thinking about the collab. Because when is that? That's crap, that's tomorrow. So we'll definitely have to keep updated on that, and I'll probably like post about it or something on YouTube. Poppy Playtime collab, possibly. But that's really cool. Steel Wool's really cool. 5 Laps of Freddy's, I'll play it, but I don't have the highest hopes for it. I don't have the highest hopes. But it does look cool. And then Into the Pit, that I've been waiting months for that. I think we've all been waiting months for that, for sure. Did you play Bendy and the Ink Machine? I haven't touched that game yet. I haven't touched it yet, and I'd really like to. Look at that. Look at that. Could you imagine? I just don't see how it, like, ever since I saw images like this, I just couldn't see how it would fit in with Fortnite at all. You know what I mean? I've never been able to like see it. But in Dead by Daylight, like I can see it perfectly. I can see that perfectly. Oh, that's cool. A nice angle. Got one of those. Please play it. I'll think about it. I have a couple other projects that I'd like to get started on. But there will, oh goodness, voice crack, I can't talk. There will be a time coming where we get a chance to try it out. I don't think anyone is arguing against you on it not being Fortnite, but we're just hoping it is. Yeah, I mean, that would be the only reason why I would actually play Fortnite, is to get the skins and try it out for a bit, but that's about it. Now about me, any hints on next stream? Well, I can't tell you much, but I will say it involves a steering wheel. And that's about it. That's all about I can give away, but it will involve a steering wheel. And no, I'm not talking about 5 Flaps at Freddy's. It's a personal project. Next stream for sure, though. Like, the next stream will be Into the Pit. That will be the next stream for sure. On the 8th. I'll buy it with your guys' wallets, and I'll play it, and thank you guys for the game, the free game. Appreciate you guys. But we will see good streams coming up very soon. I have a lot of stuff planned. All right, well, that is pretty much it for today's stream. Really enjoyed having you guys here on this stream specifically. At first I was thinking, maybe I'll just watch it and like talk about it. I'm still gonna talk about it. I'll probably make a video on it, not what we watched, but kind of like go over a couple of things, which will be cool. But yeah, we'll see how the next few streams goes. But with that, I will see you guys in the next stream here. Remember the FNAF 1 Goose challenge? Yeah, you know what? FNAF 1 Goose, I kind of wanted to do that again with FNAF 2, but I don't know how to expand upon that. So I don't want to do the exact same thing. I'd like to add things to it, make it a little bit more challenging and not just hang out with a goose. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Data West or Loserways, definitely DM me. And we can talk about possibly TF2. All right, see you guys in the next one. Peace.